Yo, what up? It is time for another live
Mhm.
broadcast from Just a Fan Podcast.
Mhm.
Um, we got some things to talk about that didn't happen this past week in NFL. But first, let's introduce ourselves for the people who don't know who we are. Right above me, right here, is Steve Space Age White.
That's what they
Um,
call me. That's what they
yeah.
call me. What's happening?
Uh, I am the good guy with the black hat, Pando 316, and right above me, right here, the man with the gift and the gab, Tris TV. He is the media brain, and he's gonna be joining us on camera soon. But he's kind of busy right now. But he's gonna jump in, and hopefully we'll get Coach Williams in here in a little bit. He's actually coaching the game, which should be wrapping up pretty soon. So we should get him in pretty soon. But the title of our show, excuse me, today is switching up already. And
Already.
for those of y'all who follow the NFL, um, we thought we wouldn't be having these type of discussions till maybe week 12, 13, 14, something like that. Um, for those of y'all who don't know, the New York Jets, in their ultimate dysfunction, have fired their
Oh,
head coach Robert Saleh
oh my God.
after a 2-3 start.
Oh my God.
And I can tell you, I can speak for the rest of the guys on the panel, and most people with common sense that are watching. That was not the right move. And if you're a Jets fan, if you thought that was the right move, you need to go ahead and like slap yourself real hard. Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
because here's the thing, and I got a list of reasons why it's stupid. Okay, and it's proven that you're a dysfunctional organization by doing this. It's 2-3. It's week 5. You're 2-3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got 12 more weeks of football. 12. 12. There have been teams that have started worse than that and have made the playoffs in the past. Okay. There have been teams that have turned it all the way around. They'd be 1-4 or something like that and have turned it around, made the playoffs. Okay. So that was such a knee-jerk reaction. Also, is Woody Johnson, the GM slash owner, whatever you want to call him for the Jets, says, I have been thinking about it for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, he lying. But if you have, because I'm gonna put him on the stand. I'm
Okay.
gonna cross examine him like a prosecutor. But if that's the case, why not fire him this past off season and just start a search for a coach right now? Now, wait, here's another part that's really stupid. The word around the campfire is that Robert Saleh was fired because of the ineptitude of the offense. Everybody knows Robert Saleh is a defensive coach. So you're going to fire a defensive coach because your offense is inept.
Isn't that coordinator that handles the offense?
Yeah, that's Nathaniel Hack it
Right.
because he's a hack.
Perfect.
Emphasis on hack. Nathaniel Hackett. Okay, so why not say, hey, you know what? We need to make a change at coordinator. I would completely understand that if they change coordinators and say, hey, we need to change this coordinator. Offense is not rolling. Now watch this. The Jets are like in the top 12 in defense in the NFL. They're like top 12. Okay. You're the top half of the league in defense. What does Robert Saleh do? Defense. Okay. So he's doing his job. The offense, when you have a defensive minded head coach, the offense is going to be all on the offensive coordinator. Okay. Now, the defensive coach may veto a couple of calls here and there and say, no,
Right.
hey, we need to run it right here or whatever. But the play calling is on the offensive coordinator and vice versa. If you have an offensive minded head coach, the play calling is on the defensive coordinator. It's just that simple. So if the offense is inept, I'm gonna let you go, Steve. But if the offense is inept, quote unquote, then that's on Nathaniel Hackett. That's not on Robert Saleh. Go ahead, Steve.
This just shows the ineptness of the Jets organization.
Yes.
We got to unpack this some more.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see here. You're 2-3. and the Bills are a game ahead of you in the division.
Just one game.
That's equivalent of the leader being 4-0, you being 3-1. You're one game back in the division.
Exactly. You're not that far behind.
Exactly. He hasn't had a full season with a starting quarterback, and obviously it's not going to happen now. That's another thing. Nathaniel Hackett hasn't gotten the offense clicking, which is not Saleh's. That's not his problem. He didn't bring Hackett in. We know the GM did.
He's not my guy. How you gonna hold me responsible for somebody that's not my guy that I brought in?
This is proof that the Jets, man, just and again, Aaron Rodgers gets way too much praise, and we know he's a great quarterback. He's talented, but they just sway him too much, man. He should not have that much power. He should not have that much power. He's not on like the LeBron James level as far as having power within the organization. He should not have that much power to have a head coach fired. We saw last week the press conferences, the post-game press conferences, talking about cadence and this is that and that. But come on, man, we're 5 games into the season. So what happens next week when they lose to the Bills?
Put your weight on it.
Or what happens if they beat the Bills and now they're tied for first?
They're gonna say, see, we was right for getting rid of Robert Saleh.
No, you're one game away from being in first place, anyways.
That's exactly. But that's like ineptitude, because it's shameful. It is shameful what that front office did. And furthermore, here's the worst part: they had him escorted out by security, like he was in there flipping over desk and punching people in the face or something.
He couldn't even.
He couldn't even address his team. Hey, y'all, I'm finna go.
And that's why people don't want to freaking play there. Devontae Adams ain't going there. If he does go there, he ain't gonna solve their offensive problems. That's why people don't want to play New York, because they're dysfunctional, man. They do stupid stuff. They make stupid signings, stupid firings. They don't know what they're doing, man. I'm gonna say it. Jets fans, get mad at me all you want. Get mad at your owner. Don't get mad at me. Y'all know what y'all doing in New York, man. Either team. I said it.
And it's bad when the phrase is the Jets gone jet. And
Jets
it is not a good connotation behind that.
Jets gone jet.
There he is. Coach Williams.
Hey, 14-0, baby.
All right. They won their game tonight.
14-0, baby. 14-0.
Hey,
Shut them out. Shut them out. Hey, listen. Real quick. Just give me 2 minutes. Oh, just a minute. Man, shoot. We shut down that running back, man. They talking about how fast he was. My D-line was on it, baby. My D-line was on it. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. My D-line was on it, baby. That's how you do it.
Well, since you came in and you're excited right now,
we're talking defense.
Just in time, because we're talking about the firing of Robert Saleh and how inept the New York Jets organization is and how bad they look. So go ahead. I've said a couple of things. Steve has added some more to it. So you feel free to go ahead and piggyback on us.
Okay, so I don't know what was said, but let me just say this, man. Robert Saleh. Now I forgot who was the head coach that drafted Zach Wilson. I don't know if it was him or the coach before him, but
it was before him.
Okay, so it was before him. So unfortunately, he had Zach Wilson, and then they trade for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers last year, as everyone knows, only played 4 plays the entire season. Towards Achilles, that was it. He comes back this year, but you're telling me you only get 5 games with the guy and you fire him already? Like, I don't know. I don't think Robert Saleh should have even been on the hot seat because he never got a chance to really work with Aaron Rodgers.
That's what I said.
Yep. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And like, okay, if it was like, let me see, who commits any situation? Who should have been on the hot seat this year? Maybe Brian Daboll. Maybe Brian Daboll should have been on the hot seat this year. But I can understand. So I can understand, if the Giants started off like 0-5 and then he got fired. That would have been different. But Saleh should not have been on the hot seat. He should still be coaching the New York Jets.
Only one game back, man. They're 1 game back, man. Like,
right, you 1 game. That's another thing too. You're 1 game back from the division leader, the Buffalo Bills, man. You got the quarterback who can win your games, your defense is legit. Your defense, that's San Francisco's defense right there, because Robert Saleh was in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So that's that
It's
defense.
actually
A lot less
actually,
talent in New York, but
to correct you just a little bit on that, it's actually Seattle's defense from Legion of Boom days.
Okay, but even that's even better.
Mm-hmm.
But the point I'm making is he should not have been fired, and then to be escorted out the building. I still want to know why he had been escorted out the building, because my thing is, let the man at least address his team. He's the head coach. Well, he was the head coach, but let him address the team. Escorting by security, was he trying to fight the owner or something? Another thing too. I know I'm taking a lot of time. I know he want to fight. I heard he want to fight Nathaniel Hackett. But Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers, they best buddies, man. They best friends. They go. They play Skip to My Lou and everything together. They get on the merry-go-round and stuff together. So whatever. But
too much hype, man.
Huh?
Aaron Rodgers gets too much love, man. He
gets too much love. He gives Nathaniel Hackett too much love, literally and figuratively. Nathaniel Hackett is another Adam Gase, man, because Adam Gase was that OC in Denver when Peyton Manning was the quarterback. It's the same thing, but
this is different though, because I just said it. Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't win as much as people say he does, man. That's the thing.
No, I know that, but the point it's a difference as far as Peyton Manning is more of a winner than Aaron Rodgers. Yes, it's
Absolutely.
The same thing. It's the same thing that you have a high caliber quarterback that's carrying an OC. That's the point I'm making.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's even someone like a Brian Daboll, should not be fired at the week 5. No coach should be fired,
man. Week 5
after going 2-3 after 5 weeks of football.
And you only one game back from the division,
man. He didn't make it to the bye week, man.
But that's too much. It's just way too much football left to be played. You have teams that are doing far worse, and they're like, wait, well, hold on, let's see, because I could understand if you're completely out of contention, and you're like, hey man, we got let's go ahead and let's make a move. But just like Steve said, you one game out of first place. Look at your division. You had the New England Patriots, who are awful. You had the Miami Dolphins, who are dealing with so many injury woes, they probably won't be able to climb back in. And if they do, they're going to be trailing behind you. So you're still the second best team in your division. And everybody knows it's about winning your division first before you even start looking at the rest of the conference. It's your division first. And you're in a very winnable division.
Yes.
We got the Bills coming up soon. If you beat the Bills, guess what?
But
you're in the driver's seat now.
But guess what? Guess what? You talking about you got the Bills coming up. You haven't. I don't think they played the Bills yet this season. So that means you got them twice. If you beat them twice, more than likely you might win the division.
Just a desperate organization, man. They're just desperate to sell tickets, man.
Now watch this.
They don't want to win. They don't care.
Now watch this. This is something else that's stupid. We all know Robert Saleh is a great defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
You fire your defensive, and as I said before, you fire your defensive coach because you're mad about the offense. To replace him, what do? You put another defensive-minded coach as the head coach. Jeff Ulbrich is now the interim head coach of the Jets.
The Jets are jetting.
What the hell kind of sense that make?
The Jets are jetting. Terrible.
Like I said, the Jets go jet. That is the dumbest thing ever.
Terrible franchise.
Man. You know what?
They gonna try to blame the downfall of this team on Jeff Ulbrich. And watch this. There's some teams that's looking for a new defensive coordinator or going to be looking for a new defensive coordinator next offseason. You're going to have two good ones that's going to be sitting right there. Because Robert Saleh is taking off the rest of the he's not going to anybody else's team this year. He says he's going to take a year off because guess what? The Jets are still paying him. So they're paying out his contract. So I'm going on vacation with my family. I don't normally get to do this because normally I'm coaching.
got to pay him $5 to $7 million for the next 2 years after this.
Yeah. So hey man, I'm chilling.
That's
I
what they
ain't,
did.
another,
That's
I
crazy.
ain't worried about another coach.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And by the way, everybody still will
Love it.
want me to be there, at least to be their defensive coordinator, because I don't know there's a team in the NFL right now that would not love Robert Saleh being their defensive coordinator.
He'll probably sit. He'll probably, if he wants to, he'll probably sit the rest of the season. He'll have 4 or 5 interviews next year. Well, sorry, next off season. He'll have his pick while still getting paid for the next 2 years.
Yeah, and I can speak for the Niner Nation. Like people like, hey, bring him back right now. Bring him back right now because we hate Nick Sorensen.
Hey, and guess what? I wouldn't blame you if you did.
He might do that.
Hey, I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And here's the thing about Robert Saleh. When Robert Saleh became the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, the defense was in the toilet. And he made them a top 5 defense inside of 2 years and did not have the talent. You got to remember, they drafted some more guys after he left. Did not have the talent that the Niners have on their defense now. So imagine him coming back to a 49ers team that's stacked with talent. Now, you got an all-pro at all 3 levels of the defense.
Yep.
Imagine him having that to play with. He made it work with guys that weren't as good as these guys and was a top 5 defense. So, I'm just saying, like, that's why Niner fans are like, hey, bring him back. And he's like, I'm trying to tell him, no, it's not even feasible for him to come back because there are certain things that are written into a contract about him, getting fired. And if they still paying out his contract while they're still paying out this contract this first year, it's little things like that. Plus, he wants to take time off.
But that's why I love coaching contracts, man. Coaches make sure they're insulated, man. They make sure the contracts are guaranteed to pay them out for several years at a time. Look at what Harbaugh struck at Michigan before he came to the NFL. I love coaching contracts because they're protected, because you deal with front offices. You're not picking your team all the time.
Exactly.
And so I love how they make sure that they're protected financially in case GMs make a panic move or something stupid from the owner. So I love that, actually.
Yeah,
I'm glad he's getting his money.
Yeah, it just makes sense. Like, he's paid. He's like,
yeah.
And I mean, most NFL coaches, whether you're the head coach all the way down to quality control, this time of year you don't have no free time.
Nope.
You looking at film. So he's like, hey, you know what? I look at this as a blessing in disguise. I'm gonna go take some time to hang out with my family. We're gonna go on a long vacation that I can afford to pay because they still paying me.
Thanksgiving is coming up and Christmas is coming up.
I get to sit down and enjoy the holidays. I get to go visit relatives I ain't seen. I'm still getting paid.
Self-reflect process where he wants to go, because it's gonna be some coaches in the hot seat like there are every year. So I'm glad he's still getting his money from them, man. And hope karma gets them yet again. And I
hope the Jets lose every game after this.
Me too. This firing sucks, man. It sucks.
They did that man so wrong. It's like, bro.
But though, here's the thing about it. The Jets are going to be in shambles in the future because there's no need for Aaron Rodgers to play after this season. Tyrod Taylor, who's the backup, he's no spring chicken.
No,
Tyron Smith is 1 out from retiring. Morgan Moses is no spring chicken. So you got 2 young running backs. You got Garrett Wilson. You got Sauce Gardner. You got Quentin Williams. And I'm missing somebody. But that's about it.
Man, and the media loves Aaron Rodgers so much. I'm not going to say who said it. On TV today, I saw someone said Aaron Rodgers threw 3 picks last Sunday on purpose to sabotage Robert Saleh.
That is the most cockamamie piece of.
So he Aaron didn't play bad. Oh, he did it on purpose because he doesn't like his head. Like, get out of here, man. They worship this guy. He ain't that good, man. Not now. I'm sorry. I said it. Yeah. He don't win that much.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
It was on a big platform. They said maybe he threw 3 picks in the game. He's never did this before. 2 weeks in a row. He did on purpose to get Saleh out of there. No, he's playing like crap.
See, that's them people that think the world flat. Like, people like that. Hey, thank you, Keenan. Appreciate it. we're gonna try to do an anniversary show where we got maybe some old clips from old shows and some funny outtakes and stuff like that. We're gonna try to really put together an anniversary show. Right now, we're gonna just cover this thing with what's going on currently in the NFL. So on to our next topic, because we have talked about it ad nauseum about how bad they messed over Robert Saleh. Those of you who are watching, go ahead and put your thoughts about that, and we can go on. But we're gonna move on to the next topic. Davante Adams is requesting a trade. We talked about it a little bit last week, and they said trade talks are heating up.
That should be.
It should be, because if I'm Davante Adams, I want to get the hell out of Las Vegas.
Run.
I don't want to be in Vegas unless I'm gambling.
Run, Forrest, run.
Yeah. So he's inactive this week for this week's game. The Raiders go and play the Steelers. But there's been talk about around the campfire that said talks were heating up between the Raiders and a certain team. Now, we don't do a lot of speculating on Just a Fan podcast. We don't make the news. We just report it. But just real quick, gentlemen, who do you think that those talks are heating up with, just off the top of your head?
You know what? That's a good question, because, well, I mean, to me, it shouldn't even be the Jets. If I'm Davante, I wouldn't even go to the Jets. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers is there or not. If I'm Davante, I would go to either Baltimore or maybe New Orleans, but let me see if I got a third team in mind. I don't know. Definitely Baltimore. Baltimore won. I got New Orleans as a dark horse, but I think there's a third team in my mind. I just can't think of who.
So who do you think is this front runner that these talks are heating up with the Raiders?
Baltimore, though.
You think it's Baltimore?
It got to be Baltimore.
If I'm Baltimore, you got to pull the trigger.
And I agree with you, Brandon. I think Baltimore, if it were me, Baltimore would be number one. New Orleans, I don't know the cap, but I also do know that they have a backup in now playing quarterback, not no Taysom Hill.
Oh, that's right. No, it's Spencer Rattler.
You know, I might say, shoot, I would even look at, and again, this is not me knowing about cap situations with teams. I'll probably look at Buffalo too, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know the money situation, but if he wants to win right away, he can go a lot of places. If he doesn't want to win, he can go wherever he wants, you know.
Right now, my money is probably, because right now with the cap situation, the Raiders are saying they don't want to eat his contract, which means it's got to be a team that's actually have the cap space to absorb his contract.
Right.
And just for sentimental value, I'm saying the Saints, but they don't have the money right now. They would really have to move some stuff around.
Now, the Saints are kings at moving stuff around.
They are. You're absolutely right. They're very good at moving things around.
Now, check this out. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. The Lions have some cap money.
He's not going to Detroit.
No, they loaded. They loaded at receiver.
Matter of fact, they so loaded at wide receiver, they are backloaded. They got stock. They got a back room of wide receiver stock.
This is true. They have guys who will be starters on other teams that are riding the bench right now at receiver.
So, I get you, but I'm gonna name a few teams. I know good teams have good depth. I know that teams that are gonna win, they're loaded. They wouldn't say no. I'll tell you that right now. They have money, and Minnesota has money too. They load their receiver too. I know they're doing great. They're undefeated, but they got money in their win.
You know what? If I'm Minnesota, I know things are going well right now. I know I got two receivers in Addison and Justin Jefferson. I wouldn't mind bringing in Davante Adams in, because you never know.
It's happening.
You're trying to make it through the rest of the season, and you in a tough division with Green Bay and Detroit. If I'm Minnesota, I would at least
talk to him. It's happened because you got to think back, and I'm gonna use the McCaffrey trade. San Francisco was winning when they traded for McCaffrey, and people were like, "Holy crap!"
You never have too much talent. That's what I'm saying. Y'all say loaded, but
Detroit. But hold on. I'm saying Detroit's backloaded because not only do you have Sun God and you got Williamson, but they got like Allen Robinson on the veteran practice squad. They got like 2 other guys also on the veteran practice squad. They backloaded.
Yeah, Tim Patrick.
Minnesota's not backloaded. Detroit's backloaded.
And that's why, because it will be a trade. It's not being backloaded will help these teams that are backloaded make a sweet deal for the actual trade. This is a free agency we're talking about right here.
Yeah, they have that.
You can
the
trade,
numbers that are gonna have to get moved around. Yes, you're right.
You can trade your good players that you have that backloaded. It makes it even better for Detroit and better for Minnesota. It makes it better because you can trade good players and a draft pick for a good deal to get him in there. That works for me.
Okay, so to segue, here's a dark horse. And we're going to segue into our next topic with this dark horse, the Atlanta Falcons.
Dang, I forgot about Atlanta. Because Atlanta, this is what Devontae Adams would do for Atlanta. He would give them a veteran presence. I know Kirk Cousins is the quarterback, but it would give them a veteran presence. And it would help Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson become better professionals.
Yep.
And better at studying film and everything else they need to be as a professional NFL player.
Just on the field, his presence on the field is going to open up a lot of things.
Everything else, that too.
Now you got to have somebody looking and paying attention to wherever Devontae Adams is going.
Y'all know I had them winning the division, and I'm like, listen, you bring him in, it makes my case even stronger, and players love playing and living in Atlanta, man. It's a desirable location to live and play in.
Of course it is.
Right? And he can put another Taco Bell in his house. But Kirk Cousins just had a 500-yard game.
509 to be exact. He killed it. To be
exact. Like whoever had Kirk Cousins as their fantasy quarterback, if you did not win your week or you did not start him, go ahead and get a bag of quarters, put them in a skillet, heat them up, then put them in a paper bag and bust yourself in the face with it. Okay?
Nah, man. You can control what other players do, man.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if you had Kirk Cousins, because I said that before the season started, I said Kirk Cousins is one of the best fantasy quarterbacks in the NFL. Now, when you get to the playoffs, it's a different story. Man. But during the regular season, Kirk Cousins is going to give you them numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had 50.
He did that.
He had 50 fantasy points, man.
Yeah.
Last Thursday, 50 fantasy points.
Ridiculous. Unless you're playing in my league, but that's another story.
Right.
Yeah, we be scoring in the thousands in my league, but we also use defensive players. That's another story. I ain't getting into that. But yeah, I mean, it was to really dig into this topic. Do you think, gentlemen, and I'm gonna let each one of you go, do you think this is a one-off, or do you think he's capable of more games like this down through the rest of this schedule? 400, 500-yard games.
500. Okay, I'm sorry. 500 is extremely difficult to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Now 400 is a little bit easier.
Yes.
Now, but it also depends on who you're playing against. Now, sorry, Carolina Panthers fans, but if it's against Carolina, it wouldn't surprise me. But if it gets like a San Fran or Detroit, somebody with one of those tough defenses, I mean, good luck to you. If you pull that off, then I would definitely tip 500 hats to you.
Yeah. I agree. The Falcons, they don't have the easiest schedule going forward. But Kirk Cousins, he passes a lot, man. So 500, I don't think so. He could hit a couple more 350-yard games plus. I think so, because he goes against the Panthers. He goes against Dallas. He's going to get yards. He's going to get 300 at least against us easily.
I mean, 300, yeah, but 500, that's difficult. 400 is possible.
Oh, yeah. He'll hit 400 again this season for sure. Against Carolina and maybe against Dallas.
So, in conclusion on this topic, I think we're all in agreement that Kirk Cousins has a possibility of being a 4,000 to 5,000 yard passer this season.
Mhm.
Well,
Of course.
That's feasible.
Yeah.
And Atlanta has gotten so much better. The defense has gotten a lot better.
Yes.
That you know, I mean, Atlanta and Minnesota are really starting to show, you know, separate themselves from the pack. And we didn't see these guys coming. We knew they were going to be all right. We knew Atlanta was going to be kind of all right. We did not see the Vikings.
No.
I'm
No.
I don't think Vikings fans saw the Vikings coming like
especially Sam Darnold starting their quarterback.
Exactly. And I'm gonna back off of Sam Darnold after, because they proven that they the real deal. Because Sam Darnold is doing exactly what he needs to do, because the defense is so good in Minnesota. Sam Darnold just got to not turn the ball over.
Yep.
You know, that's all he has to do. And in the process of not turning the ball over, he's making big plays.
That's the beauty, man. Having a the makes the offense and the quarterback job so much easier, man.
A good defense is a great eraser.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great eraser, because even if he does make some mistakes, the Vikings didn't see the Vikings. Like, tell me, and I know two Vikings fans. I know two Vikings fans. That's it. That's been rocking with the Vikings since the 90s. Okay, that's the only two I know. Shout out Jared Williams, and shout out my line brother Jordan Butler.
I don't think I know any Vikings fans.
I know.
I don't think I know any.
I know one.
Well, of course you do. You live in Iowa.
If y'all say, well, we knew we was going to be this good, you a damn lie. I'm calling you a lie to your face on this camera. You didn't know y'all was going to be this good.
Nah.
So, Dell. But I'm just saying, like, but, you know, I guess we're segueing into talking about these teams, like these surprise teams. And again, it's still week 5. Like, when we start getting off in the week 8-ish like that, then we're going to say, okay, this is who we really are. But the Vikings have checked a lot of boxes. They're way better than people thought they were going to be. Atlanta is better than what we thought Atlanta was going to be, kind of mid. And Atlanta has proven that they're not a mid team. And, you know, it's like, wow, okay. Dang, you can actually maybe put a little money on Atlanta to win some of their games now, where beforehand I was like, man, get out of here. You know, but they've played some tough opponents. Because to me, you got some teams with better records. Well, not better than Minnesota, because they're undefeated. But you got some teams that have good records, but you got to look at who they play. You know, like, for example, the Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? Seahawks started off 3-0 playing tomato cans, like Chris Broussard would say. And then they played another tomato can and they got upset. Like, I don't believe who Seattle is until they beat a good team. You know, you got some other teams that are like that is playing, you know, Commanders. Commanders are starting to prove themselves, because they're starting to beat some pretty decent teams and doing it convincingly. You know.
Let me say this, if I may. The Commanders, man, they're playing, like you said, Eric, great football against who they're going against. When you're used to losing a lot and you measure success against other teams, you shouldn't do that. Beating who's ahead of you on the schedule is a great thing. But let's not get ahead of ourselves as far as how good a team is until they actually play playoff contenders.
Okay.
You know, so this game on Sunday, I know you got your Pando picks later on. When they play the Ravens, how they play in that game is going to say a lot.
Yes, I agree.
It's going to say a lot because, to be honest, they probably have maybe just a few more good opponents on their schedule the rest of the season. They have a third place schedule this year because they were in third place. They stunk last year. So there's that too.
I agree with what you're saying, but also we have to look at how I don't think we thought that Jaden Daniels was going to be as good as he's been. He's gradually getting better every week. His play is he's kind of reminding me, and I'm not saying he is this person, but he reminds me of CJ Stroud last year.
I can see that.
He's in that same place CJ Stroud was around this time last year, and you're watching the growth. You're watching him.
Yeah, I can see that.
You're watching him make his reads. He's not one read and go. He's like, okay, boom, 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 come back to the first one. Boom, I got him. And I actually sat down and watched him. I'm like, wow. And then every young quarterback has something every young quarterback needs. He has a good running game. Austin Eckler's playing really well. So now it's not all on his shoulders.
You know what?
Say again?
Hey, sorry to cut you off. That run game, that's coming from Anthony Lynn. That's coming from Anthony Lynn, who was in San Francisco recently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's a good run designer and a good running backs coach.
There you go.
And then, I can say Austin Eckler he ain't no slouch, doctor. Hey man. So I think Washington is on an uptick. Like right now, they have won as many games as they won all last year. So they're gonna win some more games. They're gonna have a better record
this
this year. Yeah,
being since 2008. And they're playing the best football in the division. It's not saying much. Again, it's not saying much because I'm a Cowboys fan. We suck. Okay, the Giants suck. The Eagles aren't good either. So playing the best in the division, it's a good thing, but it's not saying a ton because it's a weak division this year.
Yeah,
so I just want to share that too.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of. I like how you did that, Steve, because we can actually segue into that, talking about and I'm gonna let you and Brandon talk about it because there are some folks and I love you guys because you guys keep it so real about your team, and I think really speaking, I think all four of us keep it real about our teams. Like we chastise our team worse than anybody else's. And I'd like y'all to talk about the Dallas Cowboys came away with a come from behind win, last minute win against the Pittsburgh Steelers after a long lightning delay in Pittsburgh. And a lot of people. You know how the Dallas fan base is, we them boys, we didn't see, we beat a team with a win record. And I was like, wait, I'm gonna let you go because I know where y'all going. I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm gonna sit back. But I said, man, I wonder what Steve and Brandon got to say. And that Monday, that next morning, Steve was at our Marco group. Hey man, nah, bro, nah. No, I know we won, but nah. So please educate the rest of your fan base, Brandon and Steve. I'm gonna let y'all go because in a few minutes I'm gonna talk about my team. Go ahead.
You can go first, Brandon.
Mike McCarthy is who he is as far as the offensive play caller and all that stuff when it comes to offense. He doesn't know how to stay in 2024. Whatever year he's in, I don't know, 1998, 2005, when it comes to offense, like it's outdated. And even when he does come to 2024 and uses stuff like motion, and when I say 2024, like teams use motion, different kinds of motions for different reasons. Also, they put the best players in position to succeed. Mike McCarthy would do that every once in a while. He doesn't do it consistently enough, and to me, that's very, very frustrating as a Cowboys fan. We are terrible at running the ball, which makes us terrible in play action. Our screen game is terrible, and red zone offense is terrible. Motion, we're low. I just got to say that to me, it should not be this bad because there's so many resources on the internet, and trust me, I can find it. So if I can find it, these guys should be able to find it. There should be no reason why we are so terrible on offense when it comes to all the things I just mentioned. You can watch Kansas City, you can watch San Francisco, you can watch the Rams, the Lions, the Dolphins, the Texans. You can watch all those teams, and they have tons and tons of success on offense for doing different things and staying up to date as far as offense and how everything is designed, how everything works, just everything in general when it comes to offense.
Steve?
Okay, so I've always hated the hire of Mike McCarthy. Our entire, not organization, our entire coaching staff, and almost all of our players, they're just terrible, man. I'm looking at plays where Tolbert gets the first down. They mark it 4th and short. Whoever's in the booth not even challenging anything. McCarthy, who do you have around you, man? How can you not see that? Stuff like that. On defense, players not hustling to make a tackle. You can tell they're not conditioned. The D-line. I know we have some injuries. I know we have some backups in there, but still, people not even playing hard, man, to get to the ball. We ran a little better last game, but as far as offensively, man, plays are so predictable. Dak, man, has been playing well. Making bad reads, not reading at all, not making any reads. It's like when he's hiking the ball, he knows where he's going no matter what. There were a couple plays that we got a first down. We could have got 30 yards on the left seam. He's done that the past 2 seasons, actually, a lot. Stuff like that, man. I mean, when you throw 2 interceptions to CD, who's double covered each time, we're getting field goals blocked. We're just bad, man. I really can't believe we won that game. I'm in the weekly pool. I did not think Chelsea win that game, man. I really cannot believe that we won that game. And even late in the game, a fumble, goal line. Brandon, why did we sign Zeke back? For what kind of situations?
To sign Zeke was a waste of time. I think we signed Zeke back for 2 reasons.
Okay.
1, Jerry Jones loves him. 2, if you notice, Zeke's jersey number is not the same as it was before. He's just trying to get some jersey sales.
No, but I mean game scenario. What is he good at? What one thing is he? Well, he's good at 2 things. One's pass blocking. What's the other one? What kind of game situations?
He should be good with short yardage situation, but from what I heard in this game, they did more so Rico Dotto or Hunter Lemke for short yardage situations. So Zeke is on the roster to me. He shouldn't even be on the roster, in my opinion.
Well, I think he's still serviceable.
No.
Now that we have him, he's serviceable. But my point is, the game was almost in the can when we gave to Rico Dowdle 4th and goal line. He tried to jump over and got hit, fumbled right away. If Dak didn't hop on that ball, that'd have been game over. But we signed Zeke for specifically situations just like that. Just give us a better chance. Now, we got away with the win. 4th and goal on the, I don't know, we threw it. Tolbert barely got in, touchdown. I'm glad we won, but we looked bad, man. That was a very embarrassing win. I'm not going to lie.
Honestly, we have taken a step back this year, and I'm not surprised. I'm still surprised Mike McCarthy was even able to hang on, but, I'm looking at who our head coach is going to be next year, who's going to be on the staff next year.
Hopefully,
you know what else I might start doing too? Getting a head start on draft picks, because I know we're not going anywhere.
So let me ask a question.
What's up?
Do you feel that the Dallas Cowboys are a playoff team?
No.
Because of the conference we in, yes.
Okay.
I think we can make it in, I think it's possible. Let me say this. I think it's possible that we may make it in, but if we got washed in last year's playoffs first round, no.
Okay,
I don't think so.
My next question is: do you feel like this iteration of the Dallas Cowboys can improve this year?
No. I just gave you reasons on offense alone why we're not going to improve. You have a head coach who's stuck in 1995 when it comes to running an offense instead of coming to 2024 and staying consistent with it. We don't have an identity.
Mm-hmm.
We're terrible at running the football. So that falls on McCarthy. That falls on Brian Schottenheimer. And that falls on run game coordinator Jeff Blasco.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brandon. We had an identity, man, a few years ago of just being a badass run team. We don't have that now. Last year, I mean, Dak won almost all of our games with his arm alone.
It was Dak and CD, Dak and CD, Dak and CD, and a little bit of Jake Ferguson.
And CD's playing his ass off this year.
He's earning his money.
He got paid. He's like, money, he earned his money easily. I think there's room for every team to improve, but I don't see it happening for us, man. We got lucky on Sunday night.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is when Jerry Jones said that they were all in, but didn't really put his money where his mouth was. The biggest concern was the fact that the running game, you don't have balance in Dallas. Just taking off my fan hat and talking about analysts. Mm-hmm. My analyst hat is like the offense is high flying. CeeDee Lamb's playing, he's earning his money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking it from him. Dak, because he's made some questionable throws. It's like, man, what you doing? But the offense is kind of one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And when you one-dimensional on offense, it's like, okay, eventually a good defensive coordinator is going to be like, okay, we got this. And, defensively, you still have a lot of issues with stopping the run. Like last year, DeMarion Overshown is a tremendous coverage linebacker. I think he's honestly in a few years he's gonna be on par with Fred Warner as far as coverage.
He's a beast.
As far as coverage, his coverage is
wild. He doesn't miss tackles at all.
Yeah, and so that's good, but they're having issues stopping the run. I don't feel like the ends are really setting the edge very well. You can run on the edge on them a lot. And I do understand that DeMarcus Lawrence wasn't in that last game. Neither was Michael Parsons.
He didn't make a difference all season anyways, man.
So y'all getting this from the mouths of two Cowboy fans. This is not me. So every time somebody says
time out. Sorry. Hey, the one thing I heard, and we need to move on. I understand that DeMarcus Lawrence was playing a little bit of hero ball.
Say it again?
I understand that DeMarcus Lawrence was playing a little bit of hero ball these last few games. Well, pretty much the season.
What do you mean?
And as a defensive end, you don't need to be playing hero ball. You need to be setting the edge and trying to fill it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't care about the hero ball stuff. Okay. I don't care about the hero ball stuff. If you can
but that stuff does matter, Steve. As a defensive line coach, that stuff matters. You cannot be out there trying to make a play all the time as a defensive lineman, especially against the run. Your job is to contain and fill everything back inside.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you heard it from the mouths of two knowledgeable Dallas Cowboy fans. There's some things need to be fixed in Dallas. Just like we don't have enough time, but we can talk about later about the ineptitude of Kyle Shanahan, the arrogance and hubris of Kyle Shanahan, and his unwillingness of his new defensive coordinator to make adjustments to allow are you taller than a fifth grader to come back and win that game in Arizona. With Arizona, there was no excuse for that. But we don't have enough time for that right now. Let's go ahead. We're going into our top 5 teams after week 5. Top 5 teams after week 5. All right. So let me see. I think this is my week to go first. We're gonna go 5. We're gonna go snake style. So it'll be myself, then Brandon, then Steve, then I'll read Tristan's if he sends me his. Because he said he don't even know anymore. That's what his text is. Wow. Okay. So my number 5 is the Detroit Lions. And the only reason why I moved them down to 5, because I had them at 4 last week, was because they just didn't have a game. They had a bye week. That's it. So that's the only reason why. So the Lions are still doing their thing, and I think they're gonna come out the gate slapping. So Steve, your number 5?
I have the Lions too. They're doing their thing. They will be higher, but I have 4 other teams I think are just better. So I do have the Lions as well.
Brandon, where did he go? It's a dark room. What's going on? There you go.
Hold on, give me a second. Hold up. I'm still here. I guess Detroit, still one of the best teams in the conference, still one of the best teams in the league.
Okay. Tristan has the Lions as well as his number 5. That's interesting. So for his number 4, this is the surprise here. This is really shocking.
Here we go.
Because Tristan does this. Tristan will give us his top 5 or his picks or whatever, and don't be here to defend his answer. His number 4 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh my God! You know what? I think Tristan be trolling, man. That's my bro. That's my brother right there.
I think he just like put all 32 teams up on the wall and throw a dart.
He is.
And like this is dart number 5. Stupid. This is dart number 4. Stupid. And he do it blindfolded. I think that's what happened. So he has the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I ain't even going to that. I'm going to my number 4. My number 4 is the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. Literally, Lamar Jackson last week was like, y'all must have forgot who I am. That's how he played that game. That one play with the scramble where he made the defensive end look like a little boy, number 94 for Cincinnati. I was like, wow. And then throws a dime to the back of the end zone to Isaiah Likely. I was like, I'm so glad he's on my fantasy team. So I have the Baltimore Ravens as my number 4. Yeah. Steve.
Ravens as well. You talking about hero ball, Brandon? Lamar Jackson plays hero ball when you get results, bailing out other units and your team.
Lamar but that's a quarterback. That's a quarterback.
DeMarcus Lawrence don't play no hero ball, man. He don't. I'm sorry. But I got the Ravens. I got the Ravens. They're balling. They're still tough. They're leading the division right now with the tiebreaker, but they're still a force to be reckoned with, man. I'm rocking the Ravens too for number 4.
Okay. Brandon.
Yeah, Baltimore, man. But hey, they gotta hold it down this weekend. They gotta hold it down on Sunday, man.
Yeah, that defense is gonna get tested. That defense is definitely gonna get tested. And I'll talk about it more when I go into my picks. So now, okay, so Steve, excuse me. Steve, number 3.
Number 3, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Houston. I think the second best team in the AFC. They're balling, they're gelling more. They just lost. Who was it? Nico to an injury?
Nico Collins.
But as of today, I still have them, man. Tough team. Like I said, second best in the conference. So I'm rocking with them for number 3, man. They're doing their thing.
Okay, Brandon. Number 3.
Let's see. I might surprise y'all a little bit. Am I able to surprise y'all? Yeah, I might just throw a little. I might do it just for a little bit giggles. But Buffalo.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Bills, you care to elaborate on why you chose that?
Best team in the division. They probably end up winning that division. I think they probably either. I know it's crazy, but they probably like the third or fourth best team in the conference, but they could probably end up being the second down the road.
Okay. So Tristan, for his third team, he's chosen the Ravens.
Okay.
He's got the Ravens at number 3. I would imagine so because he has the Bucks at 4, which we ain't gonna even go into that. All right. So Brandon, number 2.
Minnesota.
Uh-huh.
I love the defensive coordinator, Brian Flores.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say my number 3. My number 3 is the Texans as well.
Okay.
My number 3 is the Texans simply because even with they still have guys that they haven't fielded their starting 22 all season. And they're playing as well. That's scary. When you have a team that's always having somebody hurt or somebody getting hurt in the process of the game, and you can't start and finish with your starting 22, but you're still winning convincing games, that's impressive. So, yeah, I have the Texans as my number 3. And then, Brandon, you had the Vikings for number 2, right?
Yep.
Okay. Tristan also had the Vikings for number 2. And I have the Vikings for number 2 for all the reasons that we talked about earlier. That defense is insane. It is insane. Brian Flores' scheme, like to quote Brock Purdy after they lost, he was like, "Hey man, your scheme is crazy."
Yeah. Oh, it is.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
And
crazy.
Sam Darnold is doing just what he needs to do. He's not playing hero ball, but he's making the plays as they come to him. And I was in doubt, but after 5 weeks of this, Steve, your number 2 is next. But after the 5 weeks of this, yeah, I'm pretty much convinced. Unless they just collapse. Steve, number 2.
You muted.
You muted, Steve.
Number 2, I'm gonna go to Vikings too. I'm going to Vikings as well. I mean, they beat some playoff caliber teams, some teams that will be in the playoffs. They're undefeated. Got to give them number 2.
Okay. So I think it's unanimous to save time.
We don't know. Start with Tristan. Don't start with me on the snake because we don't know what he's gonna say.
No, Tristan has for his number 1 team, he has the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Or as I like to refer to them as the Kansas City Cheats.
What do you call them, Brandon?
What, number 1? Arrowhead.
NFL officials as number 1.
The Dallas Texans.
There we go. That's what I was looking for, Brandon. That's what I was looking for.
The Dallas Texans, baby. Dallas Texans are number 1.
Yes. I have the NFL officiating crew
Eric,
as number 1. Hey man, let me tell you something. I posted on Facebook the other night when they were playing. I said, let's play a drinking game. I said, you'll probably die of alcohol poisoning, but take a shot every time there's a favorable call made or not made by the officials in this game with Kansas City.
The officials have been bad all season for a lot of teams, man.
No facts.
I'm looking even at Cowboys game. I'm not a person to blame the refs, but we get very few. There's holding in every game, man. Probably 5 of them every play.
Hey, listen.
Every
game. Steve, let me tell you something. I tell my defensive line, I said, look, holding happens 95% of the time. I mean, I'm sorry. 95% of holding calls are not going to get called. So you might as well just not even complain about it.
Exactly.
Don't complain. There's no need to complain.
I've been like, damn, we can't get nothing. We can't.
There's no need to complain about holding. 95% of holding calls are not going to get called. Just keep playing.
So I'm not mad at you for saying that, E. But I mean, they are also still just that good.
I know I'm not the only person, and I was one of the last people to finally jump in on this after watching so many games. Because you know how I feel about the Chiefs and the officiating as a Niners fan. Like Nick Bosa was getting hugged like he had just had his wife had just had a baby. I'm just saying, like in the Super Bowl, like both Super Bowls he played in, they got him in a headlock and just So we not calling it. We not
Listen,
calling.
the officials, I'll say this: they're heavily. If people actually watch the games, because if you know me, I don't comment on games I don't watch. If you watch the games, you watch the plays, you see what's going on. Officials are heavily involved in a lot of games this year.
Oh no, they're very
no
bad.
calls, bad calls. I mean, I'm thinking back to real quick the Ravens opener. Last play, he catches the ball, he drags one foot, his other foot, heel touches first, then the toe. Look for the toe, it's a catch. They didn't want it to happen, man. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know.
Yeah. So, oh look, Tristan's here Tristan, we have a couple of minutes for you to explain why you had the Bucks at number 4.
I actually need to do an edit.
Okay, we go good. You damn right.
You gotta do an edit. So only for number 4 though. Only for number 4 because
Okay.
I forgot about how that Atlanta game went down. So number 4, we're swapping the Bucks for the Texans. I would put the Texans at 4. I think CJ Stroud is still steering the ship. I know Nico Collins had that injury, but you got Stephon Diggs there and everything. I believe in D'Amico Ryans. He still got that defense humming. And there's nobody else really in the South that I'm afraid of for them. Will Levis looked like he's on the way to getting benched.
Not at all.
The Jaguars they're the Jags, and y'all know how I feel about Trevor Lawrence. And Anthony Richardson can't stay healthy. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
And with that
number
in mind,
4. So number 4.
Listen. Joe Flacco may have to try to save the coast as much as he can.
Smoking Joe Flacco. So with that in mind, let's go to Pando's picks.
Pando's picks.
Let's get it.
You gonna cue my? All right. Here we go. All right.
Hold on. Wait, son. Wait.
Oh,
I just bet on.
Waiting for the
There
graphic.
you go.
All right. I wish my arm still looked like that. Okay. So the first game is Thursday night game that I really hate because I'm not gonna be able to see it because I have a game. The Niners are going to Lumen Field in Seattle. For the last few years, they have owned the place. This is a pick'em game because on paper, the Niners should run roughshod over the Seahawks defense, which is not up to par right now. The Seahawks just lost the defensive end, Nwosu. He's not playing in this game. And they pretty much held Geno's number, like he wrote me off, but I didn't write back because your letters were returned to sender every time you played the Niners. That being said, I cannot trust Nick Sorensen to make proper adjustments in the Niners defense. So I think this is going to be a high scoring game because the Niners defense is a complete just S show under Nick Sorensen, which is a travesty because, again, you have all pros at all 3 levels of the defense, okay? And not generating the pass rush. Devondre Campbell should not be on the field anymore next to Fred Warner. He doesn't deserve to have a locker close to Fred Warner's. And it's just Geno Smith's probably going to have the best game he's ever had against the 49ers defense right now. But the Seahawks defense is still not good. I think Brock Purdy's going to have a really good game. One of the 3 receivers for Brock Purdy is going to have a 100-yard game. It might be Debo. It might be Brandon Ayuk, who's emerged in that loss against Arizona. Brandon Ayuk was like, I'm tired of y'all sitting up here talking about me getting this money like I ain't good. Watch this 100-yard game. So Brandon Ayuk's back to his old ways, or it could be Jawan Jennings. I think both offenses are going to go up and down the field on each other, honestly. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to Nick Sorensen not making adjustments, like Nick Bosa threw shade at him last week. And if those of y'all who know Nick Bosa, he don't talk much, but he said we just didn't make adjustments. We just didn't make adjustments. They changed their game plan and we didn't adjust. And I'm like, you throwing shade at your defensive coordinator, son. So with that being said, I know I said a whole lot. I got the Seahawks winning this. I'm picking against the Niners because I just don't trust Nick Sorensen. And I don't pick Kyle Shanahan when he gets a lead to just run the ball and get out of there. You got a running back who's averaging 5-something career. He's been in the league 3 years. JP Mason has. And his career average is 5-something. Okay? Every time he touches the ball. So Seahawks over Niners. Next game. Jags go to Soldier Field to play the Bears. I still don't believe in
Mrs. Williams.
And yeah, I don't believe in him just yet. But that defense, again, the Bears have they have a championship caliber defense. And
Wait, you saying you don't believe in Caleb?
I do not. Not yet.
No, I wouldn't say that. I don't believe in the offensive scheme.
Yeah,
I don't believe it's not him. I don't believe in their scheme.
Ever since he stopped painting his nails, man, he been balling. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to say that, but
Caleb is not the problem.
yeah.
Well, y'all have y'all opinions. I got mine. So
Yeah.
he ate last week, but I mean, who were they playing? You know what I'm saying? So I think he's gonna eat again this week because the Jags can't pull pee out of boot without instructions. So basically, I got the Bears over the Jags because the Bears defense is going to stifle Sunshine in that offense. Okay, they are that good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And for those of y'all who don't know that, so remember the Titans reference. You need to go watch.
And that's a London game. That's a London game too.
That's my
Man.
favorite.
They're not going to
movie
Soldier
of all
Field.
time.
It don't matter because you know
if
why?
you don't know that reference, you probably should be in bed and shouldn't be watching our show right now.
Exactly.
That's another thing too.
So they're in London. I don't care because when you travel, you pack your defense and your running game. And guess what?
Fans know it's early.
The Bears got both. So I got the Bears over the Jags. Almost. That's really close to Stone Cold Lock, but it's not. But I got the Bears over the Jags. Bucks at the Saints. That's a pick'em game based on who's going to play quarterback for the Saints. We don't know right now. It's looking really close to like Spencer Rattler.
It's Spencer
He's going
Rattler.
to start. So, but even then, I still got the Saints over the Bucks in a pick'em game. This could be a real close one. I think the Saints just got the Bucks number.
That's a good pick.
I think they can beat the Bucks, especially at home. Now they might split this series when they go down to Tampa or what's left of Tampa. Stay safe, Florida.
Yeah, Dad. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah, so Saints. I like the Saints over the Bucks. The Saints in the Superdome. Commanders versus Ravens. This game is going to be a lot closer than you think it is, but I still like the Ravens winning this game, especially if Lamar Jackson brings the game that he brought last week. I think we could see like dueling quarterbacks, and it's going to be a really fun game to watch.
A legendary game right there.
I think it's going to be really fun.
It could be a legendary game, man.
Yeah. So I mean, I would get your popcorn ready
at 1 o'clock. It makes no sense that it still has to be at 1 o'clock.
I'd get your popcorn ready.
That should be flex right there.
But see,
CBS don't want to do it.
But see, look,
see the Bengals Giants Sunday night.
The reason why it's at 1 o'clock is because they probably were not expecting Washington to perform this well.
They could have flexed it.
They don't flex games this early. They don't flex games until like I think after Thanksgiving.
They could do whatever they want. They could have. You're right, Brandon. You're right.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying what happens. They don't flex games this early.
But they have the power. That would be.
That.
If there were more, I think people like us in the front office, that could have been. Nobody wants to see the Bengals and Giants Sunday night.
Jaden Daniels,
of course not.
With Jaden Daniels playing the way that he's playing, and the way that Lamar Jackson has turned his game up, this is going to be a good one.
I can't
really
get your popcorn ready. Whether you like either team, I don't care if you don't like either team. If you like good football, if you like good football, you need to watch this one. Go ahead,
T.
Let me say this as the resident Commanders fan here. Here's the thing. I am how I'm looking at this game. Of course, if we win this game, of course it's all it's up. Of course. But I still think that I think Lamar has just out of experience will just be enough to beat us, and I would be fine with that as long as we don't lay down, we don't get blown out, anything like that. Like if it looks like the competitive game that everybody's anticipating it to be, even in a loss, I'll still take it because even y'all know, talking on the show, I had no expectations of this season being anything talking about winning records, playoffs, division leads, none of that. I just wanted to see how the rookie would look this season. I'm in my mind, I'm playing with house money right now. Like I don't care how this goes. As long as we don't get blown out and no key players get hurt, I'm cool.
Let me say this, and good point, Trish. I'm gonna say this. In my predictions, had the Cowboys at 1, Washington at 2 for the division.
You did.
I did too. I did too.
I said toss up. If the Commanders beat the Ravens and if they beat them by more than one possession, every other opponent on the schedule is weaker than the Ravens. So they can have an incredible – if they win this game convincingly, they can have an incredible record this season.
They could.
Think I'm gonna double down on what you're saying. Even if they lose this game but play very competitively,
Well, yeah.
Even if they lose, but it's a competitive game and they go out there and show they tail, it's like, okay, yeah, Washington.
They could damn near run the table minus a game or two, to be completely honest.
They really could.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I hate saying it, but it's the truth.
Yeah. So but I have the Ravens winning this one.
Okay.
I do too.
I think this could be a high flying affair. I really think both quarterbacks can
because the Ravens defense can be had.
Yeah, I think
that's what I've been trying to tell people. They're like, "Oh, you're playing the Ravens. Y'all, no way y'all gonna win." I said, "Have y'all seen the Ravens defense play this season?"
The Ravens. Listen. I told people, I said, listen, Baltimore has lost a lot of defensive staff members. Mike McDonald's the head coach of Seattle. There's a defensive coordinator in Miami who was on staff last year. There's a defensive coordinator in Tennessee who was on staff last year. They've lost some guys.
This is the scary part about Washington's schedule, because even if, let's say if they lose to the Ravens, right? A wake-up call is very dangerous for a good team because they just get better. And they don't have the bye week until December 8th.
That's a late bye.
It's very late.
That's scary.
Yeah.
As a Cowboys fan or any NFC contender, like, yeah, man, I'm worried about Washington. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm a little worried now looking at the schedule. I'm a little worried. And honestly, to get even more respect from me, they don't even have to win this game. They just got to play convincingly. But I got the Ravens winning this one though. The next game, the Cardinals travel to Green Bay to play the Packers. Yeah, I like the Packers winning this because I think the Cardinals beating the Niners the way they did was basically a fluke because the Niners just didn't make the proper adjustments in the fourth damn quarter. I don't think LaFleur is going to do that. I think LaFleur, if he gets a lead, like he can, because the Cardinals defense is at the bottom of the league. I think they're going to get a big lead, and I think they're going to Josh Jacobs down their throat the whole second half. So I got the Packers winning this one, especially at home. Moving on, I have the Colts against the Titans. I like the Colts, especially because Smoking Joe Flacco is starting. Will Levis is going to be starting. I don't think I need to say anything else. Colts over Titans. Okay. Hey, Titans, you late, boy. The next game, the Texans travel to play the Patriots. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Stone Cold Lock of the Week. Here we go.
Man, look.
This is your Stone Cold Lock of the Week. Folks.
Man, look.
Hit the graphic, B. Hit the graphic.
Man, hold on. Give me a second. Listen. Hey, let me tell y'all something, man. New England is
trash.
Listen.
Okay.
Listen.
Right.
Let me just say this. I'm sorry. I got Houston winning minimum 10 points. Minimum.
and this is without Nico Collins. From my sources tell me that Joe Mixon is going to be starting this game.
Oh God.
That's going to even a lot of stuff out. I know Nico Collins is not playing, but Dalton Schultz is starting to get his legs under him, and Tank Dell is still playing, and you still got Stephon Diggs. So I don't think the Patriots can stop all of that. I just don't think they can. And then we know what Houston's defense can do against this weak offensive line that the
and the
Patriots
rookie quarterback who started his first game.
Sir, you do not want to see that type of smoke. You do not want to see a DeMeco Ryans-led defense in your first start with a weak offensive line in front of you.
That's why I don't know why they even started him this week.
They're going to hurt that boy.
This is welcome to the big leagues right here.
They're going to hurt that boy. I'm serious. He may not get injured, but he's going to be hurt.
It'll make him stronger moving forward in his career. It'll make him, better.
What Steve Smith say? Ice up, son.
Ice up. He may not be injured, but he's going to be hurt. I'm just telling you that right now. So, yeah, that's my stone cold lock. Texans against the Pats.
That's a good
with
one.
a rookie quarterback starting against that defense. This is a get right game for the defense. Even though the defense is getting better, this is definitely a confidence booster for the defense.
And I'm starting the Texans in my fantasy league on defense.
Yeah, I would start the Texas defense in your fantasy league if you got them.
Let's go.
So the next game, Browns versus Eagles. The Browns are completely dysfunctional. They are a train wreck. It doesn't matter that the Eagles are not playing that great. The Eagles are still gonna win this game. And then the Eagles fans are gonna lose their minds because they beat up on the Pole Browns. And it's like that's really not saying a whole lot.
It really isn't at the end of the day.
I like the Chargers over the Broncos, even though the Broncos defense is really starting to show. I think this Jim Harbaugh led team, they're gonna start off a little slow, but then they're gonna pick up momentum as we start getting toward the middle of the season.
Yes,
they really gonna take off late.
Yes,
so,
yes.
I think this could be the beginning of it right here.
Yes,
I like the Chargers over the Broncos. Give me the Steelers.
Broncos love to run that cover zero, baby. Cover zero.
Give me the Steelers over the Raiders. The Raiders again. I like Antonio Pierce, but they no. Come on, bro. You got your quarterback picking boogers and eating them on the sideline. Hey man. It's the NFL, man. There's cameras everywhere. You can't be picking boogers and eating them on the sideline.
This could be a pick 'em. Well, it's your picks. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I like the Steelers over the Raiders, even though the Steelers, what kept the Steelers from closing out the Cowboys last week was the ineptitude of I ain't gonna say inept, but the lack of good play by Justin Fields.
Yeah.
That was that part. But I think they're good enough to beat the Raiders. So I got the Steelers over
They're
the
good enough
Raiders.
to beat the Raiders, but I think Justin Fields is still a little bit overrated this season.
Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely. Give me the Falcons over the Panthers. This wasn't a stone cold lock, but it could have been if I had a second one. Or there's about three of them here that probably could be locks. But I like the Falcons over the Panthers. Look for Kirk Cousins to give you some more fantasy points. I would start Kirk Cousins against these Panthers, this Panthers defense. He's going to have a good game. Okay. Give me the Lions over the Cowboys.
Yes.
The Lions are going to come to Dallas. And I just don't see with Dallas's inability to stop the run, and you have two really good running backs in Jamar Gibbs and Montgomery. Hey man, Jared Goff does not have to throw the ball much.
Man,
listen,
we're gonna get killed.
Hey, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit just smoke us.
They're gonna hang 40. They're gonna get killed. That's not even counting the passing, because Mike Zimmer, for whatever reason, likes going 0, Brandon. And Amon Rock, man, they're gonna, and even who's in
Jameson?
No, who's Detroit's DN?
We're not going there. We're not going there. We're not going there.
Listen, man,
we're not going there.
They're gonna have a field day, man.
He's like an angrier Nick Bosa, like
Aiden
if Hutchinson was mad all the time. That's the Aiden Hutchinson.
Hey, let me ask you a quick question. Just for all three of y'all, is Aiden Hutchinson right now the defensive front runner for defensive player of the year?
Without a doubt. He's
I
leading
don't
the
know.
league in
Yeah,
sacks.
he up there.
He might be. He's in the top 3 probably right
He's
now.
up there.
He's leading the lead in sacks and TFLs.
Yeah,
He's definitely the
he's a
leading
menace.
candidate.
Okay.
He's a
Yeah.
menace.
Yeah, he's
He's
up
a
there.
menace. He is
Yeah.
truly a menace. Like I said, he's an angrier Nick Bosa. Like if Nick Bosa was that angry, he'd probably be better than what he is. But
So now
like,
Aiden now is living up to what everyone thought he would be.
yeah,
Yes.
he's
getting
living up to his draft status.
He's making like a big name for himself right now.
Yeah.
Huge name for himself. Yeah.
That he's angry. He's so mad, like somebody peed in his cornflakes every morning. Like he's like, man, I'm mad. What you mad for? I don't know. Somebody gotta die. And that's how he plays.
This guy, man. Eric,
I ain't
man,
trying to tackle you. I'm trying to hurt you. Like that's how he plays.
we're gonna lose big
When
time.
you talk about franchises getting cornerstone players, Aiden Hutchinson and Penny Sewell, cornerstone players for the Lions.
Yes.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something.
They have a couple. They have more than that.
Penei Sewell, I was not expecting him to play like this, but him being a right tackle, I think helps him out a lot because he doesn't have to worry about a lot of defensive ends on the other side because the other who's the left tackle. Anyway, he's holding it down over there. But that offensive line is a beast, and they got a lot of cornerstones. It's not just Aiden Hudson.
And we get no pressure on quarterbacks. They're gonna fucking freaking kill us.
Sun God is a cornerstone too. Sun God's the cornerstone too.
That's what I'm saying. I said they're like Tristan said, I'm agreeing, they have more cornerstones. Sun God, they're gonna kill us, man, on Sunday.
All right, so
I'm gonna make it to halftime. Hey, keep going.
let me finish these picks. Okay, so the Bengals, the Bengals go to New York to play the Giants. I got the Bengals over the Giants. Yeah, I think Joe Burrow's gonna have a bounce back game, and the Giants is just the game to do that. I think the Bengals defense is gonna kind of have a bounce back game. I'm looking for Daniel Jones to turn over the ball at least once in this game, and in a pivotal time when he doesn't need to. And then finally, I got the Bills over the Jets. I got the Bills over the Jets. I just think the dysfunction in New York
is
cannot
over.
be overcome by Robert Saleh. Just you firing the wrong guy. You know, they fired the wrong guy. Period. You know, So to recap, we have. I'm gonna go give me the Seahawks over the Niners, the Bears over the Jags, the Saints over the Bucks, the Ravens over the Commanders, the Packers over the Cardinals, the Colts over the Titans, the Texans over the Pats. That's the Stone Cold Lock of the week. The Eagles over the Browns, the Chargers over the Broncos, the Steelers over the Raiders, the Falcons over the Panthers, the Lions over the Cowboys, the Bengals over the Giants, the Bills over the Jets. The doors of the church are now open. And Steve need to go to church.
No, I'm good. I'm just listen, man. I'm good, man.
I'm gonna pray for you, Steve.
Hey,
we don't need it. We don't need it.
Let me tell y'all something, man. Mike McCarthy is on his way out the door. I'm just waiting for the win. And when I say win, I mean WHE and not WIN. So
quick question before we go off the air. So who do you think is going to be the next? It doesn't matter when, but who do you think is the next coach to get fired within the season?
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson is on my list.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I still have Nick Sirianni on my list.
Okay.
That's a good one too.
I gotta see how they respond after their bye week. But I would put them on my list though.
I got Brian Daboll on my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that will happen.
In season.
When you look at that roster, man, I mean, what coach could make that roster work?
What
coach can make that
in season,
quarterback
I don't see that in season. I don't see it in season.
Jesus. That's it.
Well, I just threw out a list. That's all I did.
Gotcha.
That's it. You asked who could make that roster work? Jesus. That's
because guess what?
You got
they
the
don't have a
Lord
quarterback.
Savior coaching.
They don't have a quarterback. They
win.
don't have a quarterback.
Anybody less than that, they not finna. No.
And listen, and I said it. You know, even with my team, we don't do in-season firings, but us being bad,
we did one.
it's a okay, but it's not it's a blessing in disguise, man. So I'm looking forward to our next head coach. It won't be in season, but I'm looking forward to the off season. I really am.
Yeah,
really,
I just don't know who our
absolute
head coach
favorites.
is going to be, but we got
Yeah.
plenty of time to talk about that, figure
Yeah,
that
yeah.
out.
Yep.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for joining us, especially on this show. This is our anniversary show. Really, anniversary. I think it's like really October 4th, but it was in the middle, so whatever. Anyway, we'll be back next week, same time, same place. I was late because, well, y'all know that I had a JV football game to do, but I'll be back on regular schedule next week, I think. No, I know that. So we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and TikTok, and you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify podcasts. That direction, Trish TV, the quarterback of the show. Down below, panel 316, the good guy with the black hat, and his show and his thing says, yeah, good guy with the black hat. At the angle, the guy who came up with the idea of the show, Steve Space Age White. And y'all know me, Coach Williams, man. And I said the season remains crazy because it is crazy. I mean, it really, really is crazy, man.
Yeah.
But I'm also the NFL encyclopedia. Please catch us next week. We appreciate y'all again 100%. Also, if you're new, just check us out on any of our social media accounts that I mentioned that you can follow us on, and just say what's up, or if you or on the show next week, say what's up. We like to hear from you. Good night. Peace out.
Peace.